Okay.
Not so that's too cold.
All right, we'll call our meeting to order. It's Monday, October 17th, 2022, 6 p.m. We'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, next we have the roll call.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Lyon.
Yes.
Hollister.
Yes.
Coolman.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Holm.
Yes.
Okay, can we get an approval for tonight's agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Colister, seconded by Holm. We have no discussion. Take the roll.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Lyon.
Yes.
Hollister.
Yes.
Coolman.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Holm.
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Item 5 is public participation. We have nobody here in the audience. Anybody in Zoom land want to address the council? If not, we'll move on. Next, we have our consent agenda, consisting of the minutes from the October 3rd, 2022 regular city council meeting, our bills payable through October 17th, 2022 in the amount of $978,344.48, the monthly financial reports for September 2022, and the renewal of a Class C liquor license, outdoor service, and Sunday sales filed by Timber Lanes Bowling Incorporated.
So moved.
Okay, motion by Lyon,
Second.
seconded by Colister. If we have no discussion, take the roll.
Lyon.
Yes.
Hollister.
Yes.
Coolman.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Holm.
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rickrell.
Yes.
All right, item A, under old business, is resolution approving a bid in the amount of $662,400 submitted by Sheets General Construction for the Innovate 120 interior remodel.
Thank you, Mayor, Council, full house tonight. Looks and feels great to have you all here. This is the conclusion or end result of at least one part of everything we've been talking about CDBG related. Thankfully, the lowest bid among these was Sheets General Construction, and the total amount of $662,400. The original project budget was $508,000. We're protected and signed into development agreements with Redeker Partners owned by Robert Abbott. And the next two, or the next one after this, kind of follows this proposal due to budget concerns and then cost increases not foreseen. So we'll go over that in the next one, but for now, we have to award a bid to Sheets General Construction. Benefit for you is that this is a local person, not someone out of town, so this makes a lot of sense for you all.
So moved.
Okay, we had a motion by Lyon,
Second.
seconded by Rickrell. Do we have any discussion? We'll take the roll.
Hollister.
Yes.
Coolman.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Holm.
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Lyon.
Yes.
Okay, item B is a resolution approving change order number 1, decrease in the amount of $167,114 on the Innovate 120 interior remodel.
Thank you, Mayor. As I said, the project budget originally was $508,000. Removal of the AV segment of the project, which 12 pages into one statement is electronics and displays and these things that would be happening inside of this building. They're removing that segment out, and he's going to handle those costs privately outside of CDBG rules. So there's qualified CDBG contractors, and given the cost, he'd rather look for that option himself. And we initially, as staff, had concerns whether or not you can do that. And CDBG has blessed this action, and we're good to go on this. So this returns the project back to $495,000, leaves a little bit of room for them for change orders up to that 508. This is on them, and it just, I wanted to separate it out of the previous resolution to be clear and to make sure that this was clean from the get-go due to its significance. So this is two independent actions.
Motion to approve. Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Simonson, seconded by Lyon. Do we have any discussion? Then take the roll.
Coolman.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Holm.
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Lyon.
Yes.
Hollister.
Yes.
Okay, that motion passes. Now we make it to new business. Item A is a resolution approving a bid in the amount of $19,700 submitted by WHKS for street improvement plan services.
Thank you. This one's exciting, and maybe the rest of the council hasn't seen this until Friday, but the Public Works Committee and staff have discussed this going back to last week, and maybe a couple of you have been kind of informed and along the way about this proposal, but there's obvious things that we need to improve. You see that in a little bit of our seal coating in town. We have street name signs that are, in my opinion, low-hanging fruit still, and we're gonna be working on that this winter. But in terms of creating an actual significant long-term plan we need help with, not only we need help with it, but it helps remove Frank and I, the mayor, you, from influencing a process as to what streets get what. So we wanted a firm to have a qualified methodology and independence and a good display on what streets should get what over the course of 10 years. Take a shot at identifying costs, as well as be with us along the way to notify us when grant opportunities are available. So following this plan will be a constant eye in the sky for us on grants, something, for example, where we might have a 20% cost share in some major seal coating in town, for example. You guys know what that's like from a number of grants that we've done in the past, but this makes a lot of sense to have an actual plan in place in case you get calls from residents or from others about when streets are getting what. So I would entertain any discussion or questions you might have, but 4 firms responded. There were 2 really, really good offers, in our opinion. WHKS did the wastewater facility and did the South Main Street Bridge. They've been absolutely outstanding and have even pointed us to a couple successful grants, and I think they're well worth the money. Originally, I thought that something like this might cost $25,000. That's on a separate Excel regarding the road use tax plan, and we were somewhat close to that in this, and we're happy to recommend WHKS for 19.7. I'll take any questions.
It says here that they are going to present their plan to us February 13th, so we'll get it back that fast?
Yes, over the fall, they'll start to come out and do something called a PACER index. There's a PACER index and something called a PCI index, pavement condition index. And with the PACER index, they don't have to actually take core samples of the road and then kind of leave them there. So they'll have their team out and they'll spend, I think it's 16 hours in the bid package, going from each street to each street, taking photos and taking a visual look at each street and giving it a rating on 1 to 10. They've done that with a couple of the images that we have here on the agenda, but ultimately this PACER index was developed by the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and it's followed somewhat here and locally in the Midwest as a defendable methodology. So they'll come by, they'll color code the condition of all streets in town, and then they'll get into the recommendation part, which, you know, year 1, it might be yellow, year 2 might be green, and then they'll tell you what exactly they think the recommendations are to either maintain street conditions or improve them over a 10-year period.
Okay.
Is that all true?
Sounds good.
Accurate, not true.
Anybody else?
So moved.
Okay, we got a motion by Colister,
Second.
seconded by Coleman. We have no discussion, take the roll.
Good,
Yes.
Holm,
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rick Earl,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister,
Yes.
Coolman.
Yes.
Okay, that motion passes. Item B is a resolution approving a change order on number 11 in the amount of $2,059.23 submitted by Origin Design for the Platt Street Project.
Thank you, Mayor. I was just reading the resolution title here, submitted by Origin Design, and that's possibly my error, but it's resolution approving change order 11 in the amount of $2,059 for the Platt Street project. It's submitted by Origin Design, but Origin Design has nothing technically to do with this particular action item, other than them assisting us with the change order numbers, just so I'm clear. I'm fine with you approving it like that, but just make a note. Origin engineer Andy Godkin and am I ever saying that right, Frank? Gedkin. And Frank have been working pretty hard in the background on getting this ready, and it's not to the level of significance that I thought it was going to be even up until last week, because a lot of the construction projects that we've talked about along the way are still off of this change order because they're being processed through the DOT. This one focuses mostly on planter reductions and preparing groundwork on Platt Street for when we have pavers instead of planters. And We're experiencing a lot of credit here for planter reductions and experiencing some cost increases for preparing the areas for our Pearlington pavers, which are at Public Works Department. We have 5,000 to 6,000 bricks.
Yeah, more than that.
So we're gonna put them to use. We've tried selling them for $1 a brick. Hasn't ever worked, or maybe, you know, you wanna keep sending them back to the earth. I'm not sure what you wanna do with that, but our recommendation is to put them in. They look nice on Main Street, and it's gonna reduce our operational impacts in the future as a council, because these weren't raised beds in the first place. I'm sure the plants would look very nice for a year or two, but as soon as we start sending chemicals and salt into these planter beds, we're gonna have a whole nother set of issues, and then we have to water these things. And I think that this is just good and smart, and something that's come out somewhat awash and gives us a better long-term look for the city. So, any questions on this change order? I assume the next one will be large, based on the conversations we've had throughout the summer, where everything's identified and approved by DOT.
Okay. Well, if we have no questions, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, motion by Lyon,
Second.
seconded by Holm. If we have no discussion, take the roll.
Holm,
Yes.
Simonson,
Yes.
Rick Earl,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister,
Yes.
Coolman,
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Okay, that motion passes. Item C is a resolution setting November 7th, 2022 at 6 PM as a public hearing date to review plans and specifications for the Façade East Project.
Thank you, Mayor. And we have another CDBG project to really start up again. This one's the Façade East Project, and we're at a point where we have the SHPO and historical concerns identified and out of the way. What this does is set a public hearing date on plans like you've experienced for Innovate 120 and 138 South Main, but for Façade East. So that will allow the public to take a look at plans and take a look at what might be in the next agenda, and then offer input if necessary on the project.
Any questions? Motion?
All right, public hearing. So moved.
Okay, good. Motion by Holmes, seconded by Good. If you have no discussion, take the roll.
Simonson,
Yes.
Rick Earl,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister,
Yes.
Coolman,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Holm,
Yes.
Okay, that motion passes. Item D is a resolution authorizing invitation to bid for the Façade East Project.
Thank you, Mayor. This just signals our initiation of bidding, allows us to get into the paper our notice that we have for CDBG. On the 19th/20th, the city and ECIA will launch our notices out there and start collecting bids on this entire project. Bids will be due back mid-November. We'll very quickly be in contact with property owners about their 25% cost share and determine whether or not they're still interested in the program. I do have some concerns that we'll have some dropouts. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it's just kind of the nature of what's out there right now.
Any questions?
So moved.
Okay, motion by Lyon,
Second.
seconded by Rickrell. If there's no discussion, take the roll.
Rick Earl,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister,
Yes.
Coolman,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Holm,
Yes.
Simonson,
Yes.
Okay, that motion passes. Item E is a resolution authorizing the City of Maquoketa and Gill's Tree Service LLC to enter into a tree and stump removal service agreement in the amount of $20,925.
Thank you, Mayor. We had a very similar resolution earlier this year in the spring. I think the amount was around 16. I'm not sure the number of trees we had on that particular bid, but this is the same thing. The tree board does a good job of prioritizing which trees in town, ash, dangerous, dead, or otherwise, need removed and replanted, and allows us to continue to maintain and show off our status as a tree city. It's a good group. It's a good expenditure to make sure that we have trees off the sidewalks and public ways, and those things need remediated. And so it relieves some pressure from public works staff from having to go out and take care of these trees. We just wouldn't have the bodies to do it. So for someone like Gill and someone potentially like High Road Outdoor Maintenance to offer the bid they did, that's still decent, and High Road's bid is also pretty good. Gill, local, High Road Outdoor Maintenance is out of Dubuque. We would happily accept either of these, but I would recommend Gill based on price, and we had a good experience with them in the spring.
And these are city-owned trees, not public, or not private property
Correct.
trees, right? Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, motion by Coleman,
Second.
seconded by Good. We have no discussion, take the roll.
Lyon,
Yes.
Hollister.
Yes.
Coolman.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Holm,
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rick Earl.
Yes.
Okay, that motion passes. We make it to item 9, reports and communications. Do you have anything from any of the council members?
I do, yeah. I'm gonna be relocating to Clarence to the house that I'm redoing. Business is going well here in town, and I decided best for the business if I move to Clarence. I'll be working on that move. Should be fully moved in over Thanksgiving weekend. So I'm expecting November 20th to be my last meeting.
Okay. Well, I thank you for serving,
Yep, been a pleasure.
and good luck on your adventure. Anybody else? City manager?
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple things, mostly Public Works related, so I'll ask Frank for some input along the way here. No surprise. We got some notice about sod and some remaining work that's out there for Platt Street, so I wanted to kind of give him an opportunity to talk about things. Sod,
Sod was supposed to start last week. Obviously, it didn't. Aaron and I have been trying to get a hold of this sod guy, Surf and Turf, and we finally got a hold of him today. He told me that they're gonna be here Wednesday, grading and laying sod on Friday. That's all I can tell you.
What's the latest on that? I mean, we're seeing deep freeze the next few nights, and then we're not gonna have, it's gonna be
They-
nice over the weekend, but
They can lay sod till the ground is actually frozen. They can't do any grading. So, simple as that.
But what happens when they don't come in and this does not get done this year? Like Josh said, if it does freeze this weekend?
Hopefully, we don't have to cross that bridge, Corey.
I
Hopefully.
imagine your answer is, because Dirt and Turf is a sub of Chig Fry, not us.
Correct.
So that's a working days question with Chig Fry, and why were you the cause of my working days delay? So that, to me, is business to business issue. However, we're the end result of it, so, I mean, Chig Fry is contractually obligated to get us our sod, there's no doubt about it, and this is the person that they have a contract with, but it's tough to answer your question without knowing a little bit more in detail what's in Chig Fry's legal team's mind about what their recourse is if it doesn't happen. With the warm weather, I think the opportunity is perfect, and this person is a last-ditch effort and knows that that's the case.
Is there a warranty on this in case it doesn't take?
Oh, definitely. There's like a 2-year warranty in the whole project, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
Oh, hey, I have a question. What is the outlook for the completion of the sidewalks on East Platt Street?
I can
Are
say-
they gonna be able to get that done before it's just too cold to lay
I
cement?
can tell you, more than likely, all the sidewalks will not be completed this fall. It'll sort of be like the west side where they completed it in the spring. But, last year, we were pouring the first week in December. So obviously, if they will keep pouring concrete as long as the weather permits. But I can almost guarantee you, we won't finish all the sidewalks,
That's kind of what it looks like.
right?
Yeah. Okay.
We've had some, and this one's, they know it, MediaCom's fault and delay in responding right. They have finally had their VP up from Moline, and I don't know why this person wasn't involved from the get-go, or why that organization employs a VP to come up and be a construction manager, but that's where we're at Friday. They offered a solution, and the DOT over lunch today, we had a phone call, and they're not even really kind of asking for engineering specs, but just saying go, go, go. So weather, with any luck, weather will dictate the end result, but I think that we're running out of time in weather, so we'll see what happens. Yeah. Seal coating, our group that came in for seal coating, we have one major street left
which is north and south Main, other than the downtown, which is concrete.
They went to Texas to work, and we've been calling them since to say, hey, you need to come back here before the weather turns even worse, and we're continually on them. We're trying to get it finished. I was at a lunch meeting with the Maquoketa Women's Club on Friday, and that was one of their questions was, when are they going to be back? And I thought my door was posted, so we're working on getting them back before the winter. And if not, we'll hold them to their contract for next spring to come back. South Main Street Bridge.
I don't know if any of you guys have been out there yet. Yeah. For the last week, this is like center Jersey barrier that separates the road from the trail is done. All we're waiting for now is for the diamond grooving on the bridge and for the permanent and or temporary striping depending on the temperature. I tried calling Dan like Schrader today. He didn't return my call yet. So, but hopefully within a week, we'll be able to open her up.
And the last thing I have is we're working towards a park strategic plan, just like our road plan. I think we do a great job of getting the big grants, the $500,000 or more grants, but the Parks Board is really interested in going for the small stuff, and they should. That's, you know, your playgrounds, your small park features and these things. And we've been trying to gather public input to build out a document that lays out a plan. And even if we don't get any public engagement, we'll still communicate that we hosted sessions and attempted, and this is what we did and all these things. But we're gonna take another shot at it in November of trying to recruit some families in and just kind of have them give some perspective to the Parks Board about what they see as a parks need in their area. So we're still trying to evaluate what the best picture of that looks like. But if you guys have any references that you want to email me of, this is a family I think that would enjoy this sort of a session. I don't expect a Parks Board meeting on this to go over an hour. We would find a way to just gather those comments and help put them into a plan so over the next several years they can write grants up. Just want to maybe add a note on that because we had 0 people show up from the public. It's despite a radio show and a Facebook post that got spread around. So it's kind of the same story. We did public engagement when I was a police officer, and it's a really tough thing to do. That's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, we have no executive session for tonight, so I'd accept a motion to adjourn. Okay, got a motion by Rickrell, seconded by Colister. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned.